When it comes to upgrading your spiritual life, there's a few key components of practice that we need to implement in order for it to be thriving. One is the most important and really key, no matter what tradition you're a part of or if you're a part of no tradition, but really is the sincerity of your longing for truth, sincerity of your longing for divinity and for self-realization. That will take care of many of these other aspects of spiritual practice because it's going to bring the right people into your life. It's going to bring the right practices into your life. And it will transform your destiny beyond what you can imagine is possible just by searching your heart and sincerely seeking. So I remember doing this before I really subscribed to a particular spiritual or religious tradition, just kind of praying to the universe, like, God or whoever's out there, please help me connect. Please help me find answers. Please help me find truth, really. And that prayer was answered in an incredible way, even without me necessarily praying to a particular, God. And the most amazing people came into my life and taught me some of these practices that I'm going to share with you. So part of my spiritual practice begins the day with meditation. So instead of having the phone out or checking all the notifications, starting the day with scrolling or whatever it may be, starting the day with nourishing the mind instead of giving the mind junk food. It really sets the tone for the rest of your day, sets the mood. And my form of meditation that I choose is what I call, or is what is called, mantra japa meditation. So japa just means to utter, and mantra means a sound vibration composed of syllables that connect you with your source, connect you with divinity, and really calm the mind in an incredible way and connect you in an incredible way. So I use what we call the Maha Mantra, and I use some wooden beads made of tulsi, and I chant the mantras on those beads every single day for an hour and a half or so. So of course you don't have to do that. I built that over time just by doing one round. There's 108 beads on the kind of rosary that I use, or the japa that I use. And I just started with one round of that every morning. And then I increased it to one round in the morning, going around all 108 beads, saying one mantra per bead, and then one round in the evening, doing the same exact thing. And I found that my mind was much more peaceful, much more calm. I was less reactive to the situations around me in life, and just more joyful when I did it. So you can approach it as a science, right? The tradition I practice, called Bhakti Yoga, is really the science of self-realization, the science of realizing divinity. And you can practice it as such too, right? You can not believe in any of it if you don't want, and test it like a theory, or test it like a hypothesis rather, and see what works for you. So that's the first part of my practice. Then reading is another essential part of any spiritual practice, because it is said that we see the world through our ears, actually. So I know what you're thinking. We see through our eyes. But the scriptures say that we see through our ears, because whatever we hear, whatever we think, and whatever we read becomes our perceptual world through which we see. It formulates our perceptions about who am I, what is nature, how should I behave, what is God or who is God, and what is divinity, what is the universe, what is truth, what is not truth, what is right, what is not right. All those things are formed through things you've heard, or through a subtle form of hearing that we call thinking, or through something you've read or been taught by somebody. So regularly getting dosages of truth and wisdom and filling our perceptual world with things that are not junk food is going to be essential to having the right amount of thrust to propel you in your spiritual practices. Or else you can meditate and whatever, but as long as you're consuming a bunch of junk food for the mind and not nourishing your perceptual world, it won't gain that much traction and it won't become very potent. So I like to read certain books in my tradition, like Bhagavad Gita, like the Bhagavad Purana. And if you want something a little bit more beginner or foundational, I should say, then my teacher has two amazing books. So his name is Radhanath Swami, and he has a book called The Journey Home and a book called The Journey Within. So check those out for sure. Those books single-handedly changed my life and really got me started my spiritual practice. So I highly, highly recommend The Journey Home and The Journey Within by Radhanath Swami. So you'll be able to find that on Amazon or anywhere you look. And then the last thing maybe that I want to mention is Kirtan. So Kirtan is the musical version of the mantra meditation I mentioned in the beginning of the video, where we use mantra, we use the Maha Mantra or some other sort of mantra, which really is a prayer to divinity saying, divinity, let me know you, let me serve you, let me love you. Because we can say, all is love or God is love or, I am love or whatever, but love requires two. Right? The lover and the beloved. And when we want to express our love, we don't just express it through words. We express it through service. We express it through getting to know somebody, what they like, what they don't like, what's going to uplift them, what's going to please them. And we try to form our life in such a way that we can actually do that if we really love that person. And so Kirtan is a way of using mantra to create that momentum in the mind that I want to love you, I want to serve you, whatever that highest truth is, whatever that supreme love is, I want to serve you. So getting together, if you can find a local kirtan in your area, or else you can search on YouTube, look up Kirtan, Kirtan, and look up this mantra music that's super divine and it's going to transform the thought waves of your mind. So one of my favorite artists, her name is Jahnavi, Jahnavi, Jahnavi Harrison. So you'll be able to find her pretty much anywhere. And she's incredible, incredible, soulful singer. Okay, and the last thing I want to mention, really, for real, is service. This is an essential component really of any genuine spiritual practice, is not just that we speak about being good people and spiritual people and whatever, but by our actual conduct, we take ourselves out of the center and we put divinity in the center, we put service to others, put service to humanity in the center of our lives, which is really what humility means. I'm here to serve you. And not in a self-negating, self-degrading, self-neglecting sort of way, but from a place of fullness, from a place of love. Naturally, we want to show our gratitude to those we care for and also uplift those who may be going through a hard time. And so if you just give this prayer in your life, you will advance spiritually, that Krishna, God, universe, whatever it is, divinity, please give me some service. Allow me to serve. And you will see opportunities. People will begin to ask you, hey, can you help with this? Hey, can you help with that? Say yes to service. And do it in a mood of humility. Do it in a mood of seeing the divine in this person's heart and wanting to love them, wanting to care for them and uplift them. Okay, so these are a few things to just get you started and really see, how am I living? How am I investing in my spiritual life? So rising early, putting your spiritual practices first, of course, starting with sincerity, that sincere longing for truth is obviously, if you don't have that, you don't have a spiritual practice. Then using meditation and mantra in the morning, especially using prayer, reading sacred literature to get that dosage of truth on a normal basis so we don't get bogged down by news and politics and social media and just whatever nonsense is going on in the airspace. and then hearing kirtan or mantra music and serving, actually putting yourself out of the center and trying to serve others. So I hope these practices will help you like they've helped me. And of course, as always, I'm here to serve you, here to help you along your journey in any way I can. Okay, thanks so much.